Tim Bond from Ellisford, Virginia. I understand there are about 30,000 lobbyists in Washington, D.C., and the average income for each one of those lobbyists is $300,000 a year. Now figure that out. That's a lot of money. If money is a corrupter from our electoral process, why, when I filled out my income tax, there was this little box over on the right-hand side, you want to make a contribution to the presidential election, and I always check yes. Why can't we cut the money off to the lobbyists and to the excessive spending, the entitlements, and everything else that Congress is throwing all over the country, and say, this is it. That's all you're going to get. And have an equal way of dividing that between the Democrats, the Republicans, and the Independents.
I worry a little that the gentleman has basically alerted all the young people in the room that they need to become lobbyists. You know, they can figure that out here. Don't tell that now.
That's not a bad idea.
Don't tell that now. Yes, Governors.
Well, one of the things you need to know is, not just in Washington, D.C., it's in every state capital. It's all over the country. I remember when I was in the state senate, you could walk through the state capitol and you might see 5 or 6 lobbyists. You can't get your car parked there, you know, without seeing the lobby. So it's spread. It's not just K Street. It's all over. And why? Because I have a one-word definition for politics. It's money. How do they make you? Healthcare? What are you talking about? Money. Transportation? What are you talking about? Money. You name it, and it's money. So the question is, how much is spent? Where is spent? On whom is spent? And where will that money come from? And so, to the extent that the lobbyists are there, you can't blame them because they're doing what's being permitted. You can't even blame the congresspersons because they are there and they're being courted. And people love to be courted. You got to blame the American people because they got to say, look, I'm sick and tired of this nonsense when you get lobbyists writing bills. And we've had instances of that. Unreviewed. You can't put up with that type of nonsense, and you got to call it to the task. You can't cut their money off because the tax breaks don't do it. You can't cut their money off because the chasm widening between the haves and the have-nots in this country is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. To the extent that you shorten that, to make certain that you have a spreading of the money, a spreading of the wealth, not taking from one to give to the other, but to make sure that you don't get a better break than he is in terms of being able to make it in this country, because that's what the nation was built for.
But let me make a point here, though. The problem is that we don't do our job of lobbying. The system is designed in an odd way to be lobbying. But it is up to us to be part of that process. We have to go and tug on policies in the direction we want it to go. So what we have been is we've been too lazy. And we have been replaced by, if you will, other people representing either end of the rope on any issue. And you know, there's tons of money being spent. Fortunately, it's almost equal on both sides of the rope in virtually every case. But we ought to be the deciders by our participation in the process, by calling our congressmen, congresswomen, calling our governors, calling our senators, writing our senators, letting know when they come back to town for a town meeting, go and talk to them. It's up to us to be in the process. If we don't fill the void, then shame on us criticizing others for filling the void that's there.
That's the thing to fill that void. You're not going to have the access to the congressperson. You're not going to have the access to the senator. You're not going to have the access to those people who make the decision. Why? Because you got to go to the aides, you got to go to the appointment process. And who are you? Just a voter. Nobody. President, the only way, and I agree with John, is you make your lower spirit is to vote that person out who doesn't listen to you. Once you do that, they'll start paying attention, and the next person takes its place.
I agree with you, Doug, but don't underestimate your capacity to reach these people. I don't agree with what you said on not being able to reach them, Doug. Every member of Congress today goes home and has the equivalent of town meetings. They're dying for people to show up. And their biggest complaint is usually they have them and nobody shows up. And that's our fault, not their fault.